Many creators will tell you that you need to improve with every single video that you upload onto YouTube, but in reality, you're probably wondering, what does that even mean? What does that look like? Does that mean you need better video quality? Do you need a better camera? Do you need better audio? What does that even mean? And for a long time, that's something that I struggled with because I always heard the advice that all I need is to get 1% better every single upload, or I need to take baby steps, but I didn't have tangible evidence, or I didn't have tangible actionable steps on how to do that. And so today I'm actually going to be showing you how to actually read into your own analytics, how to look at your videos and see how you can actually improve with the next video that you decide to upload. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we're going to go ahead and dive into my own personal analytics. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Chrissy Walker. I help new content creators make better content, get more subscribers, and make more money online. And if that sounds like your jam, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel to be friends. And if you find that this video topic is helpful to you, then go ahead and like this video as well. Once you're on your YouTube page, all you have to do is click on your icon in the top right hand corner. You're going to go ahead and head to YouTube Studio, and then we're going to go ahead and see the content that you have. So we're going to go ahead and select content on the left hand side. And then what you want to do is you want to select the analytics option under one of your videos. This one was recently published, so I'm going to go ahead and go to an older one. I'm going to go ahead and go with my second most recent upload, and I'm going to select analytics. Now there's going to be a few analytic points that I want you to just keep in mind of that are really important. So when you click on reach, you can see your impressions, your click-through rate, and then you can also see your views. So for impressions, your impressions are the amount of times your video and thumbnail has popped up on someone's feed, on someone's screen. So this includes the sidebar that pops up. This includes just your homepage feed. This also includes the many times that your video has popped up maybe at the end of somebody's video. So when the end of the video has occurs and the ending credits or the ending page pops up and there's random video recommendations, if your video pops up there, then that counts towards the impressions. So for the amount of times that your video, your thumbnail generally pops up on someone's screen, that counts as an impression. So that's what your impressions analytics is. So as you can see, this video has shown up 16,000 times on 16,000 people's pages, or maybe multiple times on one person's page, but 16,000 times it has popped up on someone's screen. It has been pushed out to 16,000 people. Now your impressions click-through rate, that is the amount of times that someone has clicked on your video versus how many times your video has popped up on someone's screen. So this is a collective. So this is how many times people in general have clicked on your video versus how many times in general your video has popped up on someone's screen. So that's your click-through rate. When it comes to click-through rate, the higher the percentage, the better. 2.5% for a click-through rate, which is also known as CTR, is not good. So for this video, the click-through rate was not good, which means we'll kind of dive into that, but there's multiple factors on why this video got such a low CTR. And then you have your views. This is how many times someone has basically watched your videos for a minimum of 30 seconds. So I had 590 people view my video for at least a minimum of 30 seconds, and that contributed to the number of views that I had. So we have our impressions, our click-through rate, and our views, which is going to be under your reach analytics bar. And another thing you're going to look at is you're going to go to under overview, and if you scroll down, you're going to see your average view duration and your average percentage viewed. Now your average view duration is basically the duration of time, the amount of time that someone has watched your video on average. So for the amount of people, for everyone who has watched your video, this is basically the average amount of time that they have all watched it as a collective. Your average percentage viewed is basically how much of the video in a percentage that the total amount of people watched your video for. So every single person altogether, the average percentage that they viewed your video. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of backtrack and kind of go through the analytics and see what we can do better for next time. So let's actually start with our AVD, which is average view duration, and our APV, which is our average percentage viewed. So your AVD is pretty important, but I feel like your average percentage viewed is going to be a lot more important because you want to have a higher percentage viewed. Your video could be 10 minutes long and then your average view duration could be 4 minutes and 46 seconds, but that means your average percentage viewed is going to be nearly 50%. So maybe 45%, which is way better than 11%. So that's why I don't really think the average view duration is as important as the average percentage viewed. So if you're looking at your average percentage viewed and you see that it's pretty low, you want to ask yourself, how can I get people to stick around longer? Is there any point in my video where people drop off? Is there any point in the video that seems like people are uninterested? And how you can tell with this is you look at this graph right here. So just to kind of take a step back, this is going to be under overview, and you're going to scroll to the bottom and you'll see this graph. Now this graph is going to be very helpful to you because it'll tell you where people get off your video. What point of the video do they decide to leave? What point of the video do they decide to rewatch? And this will basically tell you what you can include in your next video or what to exclude. The first 30 seconds is your intro, and it's really important that you captivate your audience within the first 30 seconds to keep them in your video or keep them watching your video as long as possible. Now, it'll tell you at the bottom the percentage of viewers who have stuck around for the first 30 seconds, and it will tell you if it is below average, if it's above average, or if it's typical. So for this video, it's pretty typical that 65% of my viewers are still watching at the 30-second mark. And if it were below typical, what I would do is I would go ahead and rewatch my intro, and I want to see how I structured it. What did I say? What did I include? Was it a sequence of different clips, and did I do a narration or a voice over it? Did I mention my name and talk about my credibility before I even hopped into the topic of my video? Did I go straight into the meats and potatoes of my video? So you want to observe all of that, and how you can actually do that is you're going to watch this video's intro, not right now, but like in general. So if we're studying this video on how we can do better, you're going to watch your intro, and then you're going to go to a video where you actually had an intro where it says above typical, which means it was a pretty good intro. You're gonna rewatch that, and then you're gonna compare apples to apples. So if I'm looking at this video, I say, this is what we're talking about in this video today, like and subscribe. And then I move on, and then I watch the other video that is above typical, and I happen to not mention my name at all, and I don't even say like and subscribe. I just jump right into the meats and potatoes. Then I know for my next video, what I wanna do is jump into the meats and potatoes of my video and try that out, and then see if I will get above typical again. And if I do, then that is a good indicator that your viewers only want to dive straight into the meats and potatoes of your video, and they don't care about your credibility. They don't care if you introduce yourself. They don't care if you say like and subscribe. And so that is a way to kind of study, how can I make my intro better? Now, if there's another video that says it is above typical for my intro, and it was maybe mini clips that were paired together and then a voiceover, then I'll know that I can try that for next time. So the only way that you'll know if your video gets better is if you just try different things and see what gets you better results. And you can even study with different lightings, different backgrounds, different distance from the camera, different ways that you speak, whether if you're more expressive or if you're more subtle. So try different things, see what kind of results you get, and then when you get good results, especially for your intros, if you have above typical, repeat it. Good results, repeat it. So that is going to be for your intro. Now, if you're looking throughout the rest of the video, you can see that it slowly kind of weans off, and at the end, I only have 4% of my viewers still watching my video. And now I'm gonna ask myself, where do people drop off? There's not a huge drop off in here. It kind of just like gradually gets lower and lower, which is pretty typical. But 4% at the end, that is very, very low. But I'm gonna go ahead and go back and see where there are peaks. So as you can see here, at the 10-minute and 4-second mark, there's 15% of people still on my video, but if we go to 10 minutes and 57 seconds, it goes up a little bit. So what I would do is I would rewatch that part, and then I would play it and then see what I'm talking about. And this could be a good indicator that your audience is interested on what you have to say at that part of the video. So depending on what you're saying, if you're able to make a video on that specific area of your video, then you can repurpose that section and create a separate video from it. So for example, this video is how to edit your videos on YouTube or for YouTube start to finish. Now right here, let's say right here during this peak, or even during this peak right here, let's say I'm talking about the settings on CapCut. I can repurpose that section of my video, and I can create a separate video on the settings, how to adjust your settings on CapCut, how to optimize your video to the best quality possible with the settings on CapCut. So something like that. That's something that your viewers may be interested in. So if your niche is completely different and you see a peak in it, just go back to that section of that video, rewatch it, see what you're saying, what you're talking about, and you can make a completely separate video with that and possibly get additional views. So if you're looking at your video and you see there's a drop, so right here in this video there's not a drop, but if there's a specific time, like let's say like right here, that's a drop, but it so happens to be in the center of your video, rewatch that part and see what you're saying. What are you talking about? Is it something that people are completely uninterested in? Which, if there's a drop, then the answer is yes, that part they are uninterested in. So maybe it's something you said, or maybe you go off topic, or maybe it has something to do with the way you're speaking or something you're demonstrating. So when there's a drop, that means there's something there that your audience did not like, that they don't resonate with, and they feel like there was no value to it. And so you know for next time when you record a video, you're not going to include that in your next upload. So utilize this graph. It will basically tell you what works. If it goes up, if there's a peak, people like it. People are rewatching it and they want to know what you're saying. If there's a drop, that means people didn't like what you said, and to not include that in your videos in the future. So you want to get your average percentage viewed as high as possible. Now, 100% is probably not going to be possible, but you want to strive for as high as you possibly can. Now, if we go ahead and go to reach and we check out our impressions, click-through rate. So our click-through rate, we're going to go ahead and scroll down, and you can see here we had 15,900 views or impressions, and only 2.5% of people clicked on my video from those impressions, which means I got 396 views from those impressions. And my average view duration, people watch my video for about 4 minutes, 54 seconds. And that gives me a total watch time of impressions of 4 hours, or 32.4 hours. So your click-through rate, I always strive for 5% or higher. I typically will range around 4.5%. Now, how can you improve your click-through rate? Your click-through rate are going to include the 3 T's. That's what I call it, the 3 T's. That's your topic, your thumbnail, and your title. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you have a good topic. You want to make sure you're talking about something that people are searching up, talking about things that your ideal audience wants to watch. You're talking about something of interest. Then your thumbnail. You want to make sure that your thumbnail captivates the eye of your ideal audience. If it's not captivating, they're not going to click on your video. So with my thumbnail here, and I have A/B testing right now at the moment. So with my thumbnails, the best one that I had was the start to finish YouTube editing guide. Apparently that is a factor that contributes to my low CTR. So it could also be the topic. So the topic and then the thumbnail, but you want to make sure that your thumbnail catches someone's eye, that when they're scrolling through their home feed of so many different videos and so many different thumbnails, you want to have the one that just eye grabs. It just grabs their attention and they want to click on it. So the thumbnail is important, the topic, and then the title. So the title, the first 40 characters should be the juiciest part of the title. Now for the rest of the 40 characters, it's not going to be seen on the screen, which is why I say the first 40 characters are going to be the most important. But you want to make sure you have keyword heavy or keyword focused, I'm sorry, not heavy. You want keyword focused, simple titles. Now I'm no guru here, but as far as my analytics and what I have seen throughout my videos for the past 7-8 months, my simple titles have done the best. Now you want them to be keyword focused. And what I mean by that is if you go to YouTube, so let's go ahead and type in YouTube, and I try to search in a topic that my video's on. So let's say exactly that, how to read. So if I type in how to read and I scroll through, you can see what is being searched the most. And you kind of want to find something that relates to your niche. So how to read the Bible. So maybe you are part of the Christian faith and you talk about God and that's your niche. How to read the Bible is one of the top search things, and that is going to be keyword focused. So you can use that as your title, and then maybe you can add in a little extra to the end of it. So how to read the Bible. If I wanted to add something to the end of that title, I could say in less than a year, or in 1 month, or in 6 months, or in 12 months, something like that. And then maybe at the end of that, I can put in like a little straight line. I don't even know what it's called, but on your keyboard, if you add in like that straight line, and then you can type in God is good, or all the time, or God is good all the time, something like that. So when you create your title, you want it to be something that people are searching up. You want it to be something that people can relate to. You want something that people will be drawn to immediately. But the easiest way to find a title is basically just searching it up. So if you type in whatever your topic is, let's say yours is about dogs. So dog space, dog barking sound. If that's what your video is about, dog barking sound is being searched very heavily, and you can go ahead and use that as your title. So dog barking sounds in 2024, or dog barking sound for the year, or something like that. It's just something simple, something like elementary school level. You want it to be very easy to read, very easy to understand, and you get the point across within the first 40 characters of your video. And so that's how you're going to try to optimize your title. So you want to have a good topic that people are actually searching up, or people are wanting to know. You want to have a good thumbnail that's eye-catching and that'll get someone to click on your video. And you want your title to be keyword focused. You can add in a little bit of branding and personalization to the end of it, but you want it to be keyword focused. So by having all three, if you are able to master these three things, you're able to get a higher click-through rate. I'm still in a work in progress, because obviously with this video, I only have a 2.5% click-through rate, which is very low for my videos average, but strive for more than 5%. I typically get about 4.5% or higher. And then you have reviews. Your views is just dependent on your impressions versus your click-through rate, and that's that. So every time you are filming, every time you are editing, you just want to keep in mind those small little details that you have basically gotten from your previous videos. When you do your research and you're looking at certain peaks in your videos, you're looking at the drops in your videos, just keep in mind and take notes on what has worked for you and what hasn't. And once you know what that is for your own channel, for your own ideal audience, you can go ahead and when you film your next video, you're able to apply that to that content. So if you found this video helpful, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And you're more than welcome to click on the video on the screen, and I will meet you there. Bye.